Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Crezn't from CZT Margaret Bremner. Now, I've never met Margaret, but I love her humor that she puts into her tangulations of Zentangle original tangles. Just love it. All right, and this one is no different. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little border in, and I decided I think I used this PN yesterday, and sometimes I just get in the mood for the nice PN pen. For those that don't know, it stands for plastic nib. You can see, well, here, in case you didn't know. You know, this is what I usually use, and this is what I'm using today. They're just so nice because it's not as delicate dealing with, making sure, because you usually like to have it kind of straight up and down. The other one, this one, it's a little bit thicker, but if you use a light touch, you can kind of modify the thickness by kind of playing with how you're writing with it. Just, you know what, if you don't have them, good thing to have on hand. Like I said, because sometimes you just want to tangle, and I get, in my mind, it's just like I just don't want a hassle. Not that the other one necessarily always gives a hassle, but I don't know. There's something a little bit more freeing. Maybe that's maybe a better way to put it. Using this. Okay. Now, oh, I finished. Yeah, as I'm talking and yapping about the PN. Okay, so this is set up with just straight lines. So instead of like a grid that has, boxes, it's a grid of lines. So it's a nice fill-in tangle, and you could use it as a border. You could just put in 2 lines or something like that. Up to you. Next, oh, I think I'm gonna do it different. When as I was doing my version of the step out, I was making U shapes, and sometimes our brains, like, why is this not feeling so comfortable? And I say it all the time here. Sometimes I don't pay attention to myself. So it was okay. You'll see. It's okay. But I'm gonna do it upside down because it doesn't matter which direction you do this. All right, so we're going to do a bunch of C shapes like this. And this at least is kind of going with the natural curve of the hand versus, kind of going up until I do something like that, versus the other way. All right. Oh, but I see why. Okay, well, that's all right. We'll figure it out. Wait. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to stagger these. And it is easier well, it depends. It will be easier the other way, but that's right. We're going to make it happen. So what I normally do is, when I was doing it this way, yeah, because then, I started up here at the top, and then you can easily, start in the middle and make your U shapes. Yeah, I can see. It doesn't matter which way I do it, but now that I've started this way, I'm just going to continue. All right, so then here, and we're alternating. So this one I can start right at the line again. And then this, and that's why I start here, except I went a little over there, didn't I? We'll kind of go in the middle. It's not going to matter. Nothing matters. Nothing matters, and it's lovely that it doesn't. Okay, next. We're going to basically aura these. And you know what? I want to look back because it just occurred to me. Nope, not that one. I wanted to see, and okay, I've got like 1,200 pages open. Oh yeah, okay. Just because something popped into my head. So I'm going to start here. It's essentially an aura-ing, like that. This one is a little bit easier. I can go ahead and do the partials right along with it. Usually, like I did as I was setting up the first C shapes, I will do the partial ones afterwards, just because, I don't know, then you kind of see where you're going with things and it makes it a little bit easier to do. Just a thought. All right. Next, and just by the way, I'm here to prove that anybody can do Zentangle. Can't do stick figures to save my life, but I can do this, indeed. All right. Next, we're going to fill in the background. But we're going to fill it in with just some straight lines, basically disguising those initial lines that we have. All right. And so this, we're going to have a lot of hollow bowing. And if you go kind of, well, let's say if you go kind of light with your pen, it's helpful. However, if you really want to disguise those, you want to kind of have the same amount of pressure. So that way it's not like, oh, thick line and then, you know, a bunch of really thin, wispy type lines. And of course, you decide how far apart you want your lines. Now, normally I would be thinking, well, I could just do all of these and then come back and do these. However, you can see like here, wait, oh, let's see, here, not really there. Now I've lost track. There. This is why it is good to kind of do one line at a time. And, you know, even until I got to here, you saw me, you know, traveling, having my pen travel across as if, versus, like I said, going, oh, I'll just put a bunch of lines here, a bunch of lines here. This just helps with the, oops, not there. What do I call it? The convincingness of this. All right. Because, you know, and of course it doesn't have to be perfect. We are not striving for that at all. But there is something about having this one continuous thought that helps. Now, of course, here I'm going to have to go backwards. Oh, wait a minute. And then you see where you kind of get off a little bit. It's like, that one looks, where do my eyeballs are going? One way or the other. Well, that's all right. We'll just start here. But this way, you can, as your pen is traveling, and if you're going slow enough, and then here we'll just work it backwards, then you're going to hit all of the parts that you need to that are behind these crescents. And this part does take a little bit of concentration. You know, and it does help to also have your lines go to the end. You know, I either go one, it seems like it's one way or the other. I either overshoot or undershoot more often than I like land. I like stick the landing. All right. I want, I don't know, I this one got a little bit off and I don't know if I want to add another line or not. I'm going to just leave it for now and continue on, because sometimes these things don't matter. And we'll find out at the end. So far, so good. Now this one is for sure. There we go. And, these kind of things, I don't know. I think that they're fun. It really does help if you're doing it for meditation or mindfulness. These kind of tangles are brilliant for that. But even if you're not necessarily aiming for that, but you do enjoy you enjoy that as a side effect, as I like to call it. These kind of tangles where we have all of this repetition and really having to focus on that little bit is just very helpful. All right. Tell you what, I am tempted to fill in these crescents. Well, we'll see what shading does. And I only say that because I keep looking at that one that goes over. It's like, all right. There'll be a way to fix it. Ooh, right there. And even something as little as that. Just a little teeny mark. And actually this one would have one here. And as I said, it makes it convincing. And that's what, it's kind of an optical illusion. And that's some of the fun of certain tangles. That we create that illusion of, oh gosh, how did they do that? How did they get all of that behind there? Well, I'll leave that. And you know what? This is something else you could play with this while you're doing the lines, you can play with on purpose the spacing. I think I might add another one in that bottom one. You can play with that spacing on, like I said, on purpose to create some neat effects. When they happen on accident, it's fun too. All right, there we go. All right. And let's see. I didn't look ahead to see because I was having so much fun doing this. Oh, interesting. So, a couple ways you can shade this. Number one would be the overall section, right? Especially when it's a fill in, and it's going to depend on what your section looks like. I'm thinking because these are over, let's just put, I'm going to start with underneath. Or it could be to the side, whatever way you want to look at it. I think it's going to be amazing. Because always when we have fun with shading, it's amazing. Whoops. All right. Now, mm-hmm. And for those that watch a lot, it's like one of those. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but at the same time, I don't apologize for repeating myself because you might be watching this for the first time, and if you watch, if you've been watching for a while or you watch regularly, thank you. And I always am thinking that everybody that's watching has never watched before, so that's why you will find me saying the same things over and over again. And then sometimes if you're like me, it's like, oh, like as if I had never heard that before. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm feeling it needs to be a little bit darker. Let's try it with the normal pencil that I use. Yeah, that little golf, maybe I need to sharpen the golf pencil. I don't know, do you notice sometimes, and it just seems weird that sometimes even with the graphite, I notice it more with like the charcoal pencils and things where, like, and I call it getting junked up, where, you know, if as you're working with it, like as if it could get clogged or something, and sometimes just a little sharpen, and let's use a different Tortillion too. Just a little sharpening, like, loosens up the stuff, and boom, you know. So I have to give that a try with that. And if you weren't aware, you know, if you find that your pencil's acting weird, maybe give that a try. Yeah, that's making an enormous difference. And it could be too, I mean, a different type of graphite in these little golf pencils that I got versus the, this is, and almost was, because I think it's in there like this far or something like that. It was the size of like a, you know, just a mini pencil. Yeah, I like that better. And then we can just go a little bit. So this is a colorless blender. And it is not only for colored pencils. And here is it's the number PC1077. You can get them in a 2-pack. Actually, if you go to my link tree, I have a new store listed, and I do have them on there. So I in the find the colored pencils. I was trying to organize it so it makes sense, but do check it out. It's the Amazon store. So look at how much better that looks. So neat. Now I don't know that I want to do here, because I mean it's going to make the whole thing pop, which is nice, but I kind of like the way it looks with just having, you know, that one thing, like a ledge almost. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Now, of course, you could fill these in. You could I don't know how much I'd want to decorate them. You know, I mean, maybe you could put orbs in or something. Just because there's so much commotion with all of the lines. But of course, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. All right. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this. And if you did, please click on the like button. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section where you will find links to the step outs. And then also below that is my link tree. There, if you want, that's where I mentioned you will find links to my to products that I mentioned here, as well as ways to connect with me if you wish. If you'd like to tangle online with me and a bunch of my, well, we'll just call our Tangle family, because that's what it is. Would love to have you come and join us. It's called Tangle Time. That's one of them. It's free. It's on Thursdays. I do 2 sessions, and that I do classes also on Tuesdays. They, for the most part, except for the third Tuesday, that one is a free one. It's called Tough Tangle Tuesday. But the other ones have a fee or are a club member exclusive. And if you want information on my membership club, that's there also. It's pretty self-explanatory. I just like to highlight a few things. And as I'm highlighting, one place that I don't have listed specifically for classes is my Facebook page. So follow me there if you're interested in that. And if you would like to be a part of our Tangle Addicts community group on Facebook, there is a link for that as well. All you have to do is answer the 4 questions, and that is it. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.